well. Today I am doing a bronze goddess look for you. I absolutely love this look. This is one of my favourite looks to do in the summertime. I've been wearing it quite a lot in the evening and maybe pared down the eyeliner during the day. But I really love these colours for the summer. It doesn't look too overdone, but yet a little dramatic and sexy, especially if you add a bit more eyeliner and lashes. Yeah, so I really hope you guys enjoy it because I really like this one. And if you want to see how I did it, using only 2 eyeshadows, super simple, then carry on watching. So let's begin with our other eye. Now I've already put on a little bit of Urban Decay Prime Potion. If you don't have oily eyelids, you don't really need to do this step because we're going to be foiling the shadow. And what I'm going to be using is a BarryM Dazzledust in number 39. It's the most lovely, nude, caramelly colour. I just absolutely love it. I love foiling these shadows in summer as well because I find that they last longer, apply smoother, and you get such a nice payoff of colour with such a nice finish as well. If you have a similar colour in a cream eyeshadow, that would also work perfectly. But because my eyelids get quite oily, I can't really get away with using cream eyeshadows. They always crease on me and melt off during the day, especially in the heat. So I prefer foiling instead. So just take a little bit of the shadow in the cap, and then I'm going to add 1 or 2 drops of MAC's Mixing Medium. This is just their water-based mixing medium. And then you want to get a fairly stiff synthetic brush. They're the ones I find work best with wet or cream products. And you're just going to mix a little bit together so you get a nice paste with no lumps. I always feel like I'm doing Cookery Channel when I do this part. So once you have a nice paste, we're just going to apply that shadow all over the lid. And you can see how beautifully and smoothly it goes on. You want to apply up to the crease and then take a little bit more, and just using the end of this flat brush, this is a Body Shop eyeshadow brush, just apply along the tear duct, just so the light can catch your eye there, and then underneath the eye as well. Just like so. And then because you don't want a harsh line, just take the edge and just lightly sweep along the crease, to blend that colour out a little. You can use a clean brush or even a Q-tip just to kind of blend that colour, because I find when you foil shadows and they dry, they can create quite a harsh line that's difficult to blend out. So you have something that looks like that. Now you're going to wait for a few seconds to dry. In the meantime, get any kind of fluffy blending brush. This is the MAC 217. You guys know I absolutely love this brush for blending. And all we're going to use is 1 more eyeshadow. This is a super easy look. I'm using bronze from MAC. Any kind of bronze will do. This is what it looks like. It's quite a shimmery shadow. Once you blend it in, it doesn't look too bad. Just get a little bit on your brush. Make sure to tap off any extra because this one, I think it's a luster finish, so it has quite a lot of fallout. And all we're going to do is just go right into the crease with this, just to add a little bit of interest. We don't want too much definition, and we're going to blend it out quite a lot. But just a little bit of depth there helps to balance out the really light shimmering eyeshadow on our lid. Make sure you get a little bit at the outer corner as well, just to get that little swoop out. Just like so, and that's super, super easy. Then I'm just going to take a big fluffy brush. This one's just a big eyeshadow brush from Sephora. You can use a cream colour eyeshadow, something like vanilla would work. I'm just using face powder because, well, normally this is my face powder, but because I'm more tanned at the moment, it's too light for me. And this is the Besame face powder. So I'm just using a little bit of that on the big brush, and I'm going to use that just to really blend out the edges of that bronze colour and also add a little bit of a highlight. You don't want anything shimmery because that will just overwhelm the eye because you have so much sheen on the lid. And I find that using a face powder works really well. They blend so well into your skin. And if you use one that matches you, it doesn't look like you're putting in too much effort. Blending is really the key in this part. I want it to look really soft, and then I just like to blend the edge as well. And that's your eyeshadow done. Now I'm just going to take a black eyeliner. This is Urban Decay's 24/7 pencil in 0. And I'm going to tight line just the top of my eye. Now I know a lot of you get really worried about this, but it's not that bad. All you have to do is kind of tip back and look into the mirror and just tight line. You can kind of hold your lid a little bit. Don't pull on your eye too much. but you basically want to get the eyeliner right into the base of the lashes. A tip for tight lining the top brim as well is I find this part here really difficult to do because that's where your eye normally is when you look forward. So you just turn your head and look sideways and do it in the mirror there. That way it doesn't feel like it's coming straight at your eye. So that's what it looks like once you've tight lined. As you can see, it doesn't look like I'm wearing eyeliner, but my lash line is defined and my eyelashes look thicker at the base as well. So you could leave it like that if you have really nice definition naturally to your eye, but I like to add a little bit of eyeliner on top as well. So just create a thin line that blends in with a tight line. You don't want to have any skin or eyeshadow or any colour showing between where you've tight lined, where the base of your lash is, and your pencil. So just make sure that you really work it into the base of your lashes. So after you finish lining your eye, this is kind of what it looks like. As you can see, there are no gaps showing through, it just looks very black. And then the last thing to add is some volumizing mascara. I'm using the Sumptuous Volume from Estee Lauder. And so those are the eyes. This look is fantastic, I think, for all times. You can really amp up your liner or add false lashes at night, or just not tight line and maybe use a lighter hand when you're applying your eyeshadow during the day. And I just think it looks absolutely gorgeous for the summer. Let me just tell you what I have on the rest of my face. I'm wearing Dior Forever Extreme Wear Flawless Makeup SPF 25. I absolutely love this foundation for summer. It's by far my favourite foundation for the summer, just because I feel like it really helps to control my oil and it doesn't melt in the heat. I buy a darker colour of this. I think this is shade 20, which is a lot darker than my normal foundation if I show you one. As you can see, there's quite a big difference, but this is roughly the colour I go in the summer, so I know I'll always come back to it. I feel like it's not the easiest to blend because it really does sink into your skin. As soon as you put it on, you have to work quite quickly because it really sinks in and locks into your skin. There's a long scientific blurb about it, but I'm not going to bore you with that now. But apart from that, I just apply it with my fingers all over really quickly. About a pump or a pump and a half is enough. And it looks really nice. It lasts all day. And I don't think it's too heavy either, especially if you spread it out with your fingers too quickly. I feel like this is foundation that could look a little bit cakey if you apply it with a brush or very liberally. It has pretty good coverage on its own, so I don't feel like you need too much. But yeah, if you have oily skin in particular, I definitely recommend you check this out. It's fantastic. And then on my cheeks, I'm wearing a little bit of NARS Laguna. You've all seen that. It's the breast bronzer. It's my favourite. And then as well, I'm wearing a peach blush, and this is Bright Peach, limited edition unfortunately, from MAC. But I really love peach and bronze colours for the summer. And then on my lips, I'm just going to pop on a little bit of a Body Shop lipstick. This is number 42. As you can see, it's a really lovely natural caramel shade and it goes really well with the rest of the makeup. You don't want anything too light or too bright with this kind of look because the eyes are really sultry and intense. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Thank you so much for watching. Please do try this look out. I really like it, as I've already mentioned a few times. So thanks once again. Thank you to all my new subscribers, hi, and all my old ones for sticking by me. I really appreciate all you guys and all your support, even though I know I haven't been here as often as I used to be. I'm still loving making videos, it's just finding the time. So I'm still here, you guys, don't worry, I'm not going anywhere. Thank you all so much for watching. I shall see you all soon. Lots of love. Bye.